there's a lot of focus on the content that is appropriate at a given grade level. What focuses though on motivation, curiosity, aspiration, because you can't teach a child that's not interested in learning. What sort of focuses to deal with the receptivity of kids to the content that's been identified?
Well, to me, a lot of that, there are two ways to come at your question. Is how do the kids come into the school, the environment they come from. The other is what kind of pedagogy is involved in terms of engaging that child. And so the school system often doesn't have the luxury of being able to influence the environment that the kids come from, but they have to take the child as they find the child. Yes, indeed, I think, to the extent of more parental involvement, although I don't want the federal government deciding what parental involvement means, to the extent that there's more parental, the data is quite clear on those children that are read to on a regular basis, for instance, come into start pre-K with their vocabulary 3 times that of those who aren't. The need for parents to be engaged at every level of a child's education. But there are a number of kids, unfortunately, that the school systems are going to have to take as they find them. And so how do we engage those? And so to me, the key role for education is going to be developing those strategies to assist the teacher, the educator, the administrator, the teacher leader, the principal, in how to engage those children. Having said that, I think there's some positive examples. I wish I could make every home the perfect home, but what we can do is we can focus on what kind of school site services are provided, so that a child that has a toothache, a child that has an earache, the child that has other problems, that at least we can try and direct the social services necessary. And yes, I want to get back to parental involvement, but I also got to get back to, I think the role of teaching is changing. My observation is that, getting back to this issue of do we want highly qualified teachers, those certified in a field, knowledge certified, masters in 13 and all that, or do we want, which doesn't have to be either or, do we want highly effective teachers? What is it where? And so I come down on the side of highly effective teachers. Because I'm not sure that necessarily having accumulated academic credits equates all the time to effectiveness in teaching. And so what is it in our schools of in our colleges of teacher education? Are we truly preparing a teacher to be an effective teacher, to have pedagogical skills that are essential? Quick anecdote, I was holding forth, I'm rambling, I understand. I was one of the privileges of when you hit 62. I was and get away and do away with your comb over. I mean, so I was holding. Well, you can relate to that. I was holding forth sort of self-righteously to one of the very smart policy people we have in my organization, who was a former middle school teacher. And I was saying, listen, I think I know something about government. Why can't I walk in and just start teaching government in a middle school or high school? I know how a bill becomes a law, the 3 branches go. And she says, Bob, you can. But tell me what you're going to do the first time that 8th grader stands up and starts acting out. Tell me what you're going to do in elementary school, if you're in an elementary school, the first time that child stands up and wets his pants. Tell me what you're going to do in these situations. I said, well, I'm going to run scared. And she said, that's what the importance of quality teacher preparation is about. It's not to say there shouldn't be alternative ways into the classroom, but also recognize that simply being knowledge-based doesn't mean that you're an effective teacher. The same token, you've got to have the content knowledge